Hey everyone, I'm Eduardo Norette. Thanks so much for coming to my channel. Welcome to another episode of The News Explained, where I break down some topics that are in the current events or news, provide some analysis and maybe some in-depth facts you may not have known about. I'm on the road this week, so we'll keep this one quick, but before we get started, as always, if you like what you see, don't forget to give this video a like and, of course, my channel a subscribe. So President Trump gave his fifth address to Congress a couple of nights ago, his fifth since taking office in 2017. And the headline of the event wasn't so much what Trump said, but the Democrat reaction to the speech. The Democrat Party, the resistance, it's over. They are finished. They have no agenda, no ideas, no beliefs, and the reaction a couple nights ago is the perfect example as to why the party keeps losing. So let's start at the beginning. Democrats basically tried to shut down Trump's speech before it even started. Take a look.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
So he doesn't even open his mouth and they start booing. I mean, the point is, Trump could do anything from here on out. He could find a cure to cancer. He could end world hunger. He could bring about world peace. Some of those aren't so far-fetched, by the way. And the Democrats would still oppose him. No matter what he does, that is what their entire resistance movement is on. It's not on a set of ideas that they think are better than his. It's not on a set of beliefs that they want to counter to his. It is simply against anything he puts forward. And of course, Trump made that point himself during the speech.
This is my fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, and these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
And throughout the night, their entire behavior continued. Their despicable, shameful behavior continued on behalf of the American people. Even if you don't like Trump, or even if you're a Democrat voter, how can you support a party that isn't offering an alternative? All they do is they sat there with their stupid signs. I mean, they looked so ridiculous. And yet it continued throughout the night. The Democrats refused to clap, for example, when Trump said he wanted to bring about peace between Russia and Ukraine. Look, they just sat there. I mean, wasn't the Democrat Party the party of peace, the party against the Iraq War? Now they're upset at the prospect of fewer Europeans dying, of fewer tax dollars from all Western nations being wasted on an endless war. Democrats also refused to clap when Trump honored the lives and spoke out to the relatives of Laken Riley and Jocelyn Nungary, two young girls who had their entire futures ahead of them in this country before they were brutally attacked and murdered by illegal immigrant criminals who had no business being in this country. Do Democrats clap for that? Do Democrats at least sympathize or empathize with that? No, they couldn't bring themselves to share in a fellow American's pain, one who was sitting above in the rafters near them. And that's because the party is the party of illegal criminal aliens. That's what the Democratic Party is for now. On the issue of whether more criminals should be allowed into this country, on the issue of whether the federal government should go into sanctuary cities to capture these criminals, on the issue of whether we should be using tax dollars to help and prioritize those who have broken our laws over maybe our own homeless or our own impoverished people. Each time, the Democrats side with foreigners. They side with the people who aren't even Americans, the people they aren't even elected to represent.
A brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
And immigration isn't the only issue. Take Peyton McNabb. She was sitting in the rafters that night. Peyton McNabb was a high school volleyball player who played against a biological male who was allowed to play on the opposing team because he identified as a woman or he was trans or something. And he spiked the volleyball so hard in her face that she was left with permanent brain damage. She had cognitive issues going forward. And again, the Democrats refused to show any empathy for her as Trump called her out.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team or they will lose all federal funding.
This is the party that claims they're for women. This is the party that sat there in their little red and pink vests because, oh yeah, they're the party of women, but they can't be bothered to defend women in the face of an abusive or aggressive male, in this case, one on a sports team. And it's pretty ironic to me because early in the day, Congress, actually the Senate, voted against legislation that would have put a stop to this, against legislation that would have prevented more women, more girls like Peyton McNabb being injured by biological males who claim to identify as women. Democrats want us to put up with this in the name of inclusion and being nice. Peyton McNabb should just take it. You know, that's the price to pay of being nice. That's the price to pay of we don't want to hurt a trans person's feelings. Sorry, they're going to have to be more girls like Peyton McNabb who have permanent brain damage. That is the Democrat Party's argument. And lastly, DJ Daniel, a 13-year-old with brain cancer who had a lifelong dream of being in law enforcement. So Trump brings him to the State of the Union, talks about his commitment to ending cancer and cancer research, and he honors DJ with a membership in the Secret Service. He gives him an honorary status in the Secret Service.
And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Only one Democrat stood up for this 13-year-old kid with cancer. Just one. Democrat Congresswoman from New York, Laura Gillen. This is the modern Democrat Party. This is why they got clobbered a couple months ago in the November election. They are completely devoid of common sense. They embrace anything that is extreme and insane, and they reject any sense of normalcy that we used to have in this country. They are against normal. That is what the party has become. And the polls after Tuesday night showed it. According to CBS News, among those who watched the speech, 77% of Americans like Trump's plans for ending wasteful spending in government. 77% sided with him on immigration and the border. 73% sided with him on his policies towards Ukraine and Russia. And even 65% on the issue of tariffs. So again, we're constantly told that Trump's ideas aren't popular, that he's so extreme. Look who's extreme now. Almost 80% of Americans on some of what used to be the most controversial issues now side with Trump. And the resistance, all they can do is wave their stupid signs. That's all they have. Instead of realizing, okay, we've lost several elections in a row now. The people have spoken. Let's compromise. They won't do it. Here's another statistic from the same poll. Among Americans who watched the speech, 76% approve of what Trump said. So keep trying, resistance. I mean, we've been through this before. Go right ahead. You have two options. You can work with Trump, maybe try to get done some of what you want done. You can be part of a team like Tip O'Neill was in the 80s with Reagan. Take credit for the compromise to open up a golden age for the United States of America and her people. Or you can resist. You can sit there with your signs. You can pull stupid social media stunts. I mean, this is what the Democrats, some of them, posted on social media today as an example. So you can have more of that, you can have more of that cringe, or you can actually be part of winning again. Or you can at least, if you don't want to do either of those things, at least try and understand why the American people believe the way they do and voted the way they did this past election. Because a lot of it doesn't necessarily have to do with Trump. It has to do with a lot of how extreme they have become. All right, that's it for me on this episode of The News Explained. I know it was a short one. As always, don't forget to give this video a like and my channel a subscribe. It's a huge help. We'll see you next time.